This week, we'll learn how to take some code that does a basic calculation with upper air data and use multiprocessing and shared dictionaries to make that runtime much shorter. Welcome to another MetPy Monday. Hello, I'm John Lehman, a software engineer for Unidata. We've been talking about queues and multiprocessing for the last couple of weeks, and before we go away from that topic, I wanted to show you one last thing, which is how to use a shared or global or managed dictionary, you'll see it referred to many ways, to store the results from this. So we looked at using a queue to write results out to disk, but maybe you just need to do a calculation and store that intermediate result to later do something else with it in your script. This is a really nice way to do that. So our task for this week is going to be to take a list of stations and a date and go retrieve the soundings for all of those stations, calculate the precipitable water, and put that in a dictionary that we can access later on in our script when we're doing some other task, like maybe making a map. So let's go ahead and do our imports. So from datetime, import datetime. And notice how I'm using the free VS Code editor, and it's helping me with some completion suggestions here. And this is really great because it helps speed up your coding process. You don't have to type all of those characters. So use that completion to your advantage. So we're going to import datetime, import multiprocessing. And from multiprocessing, we're going to import manager. Next, we're going to import metpy.calc as mpcalc, which is our standard alias for that. And from metpy.units, we're going to import units and pandas data frame to unit arrays. From siphon.simple-web-service.wyoming, we're going to import Wyoming upper air. Now we've got some past MetPy Monday tutorials on many of these things, like MetPy's units, the pandas data frame to unit array helper, and how to get upper air data using Siphon. So if you're unfamiliar with those topics, you might go back and check those MetPy Mondays out. So the first thing I'm going to do is write a function to calculate the precipitable water at a station. I like to write this for a single-threaded or normal functional programming way, if you'd like, and then go back and modify it. So let's go ahead and do that. So my function definition is going to start with def, calculate precipitable water, and it's going to take a station and a timestamp. Don't forget a docstring, calculate the value of precipitable water from a sounding. So what we need to do here is go get that data from Wyoming and make it a set of united arrays instead of a data frame, so it's something that MetPy's calculations can work with, and then call the precipitable water calculation. I'm going to go ahead and put a print statement in here just so we can sort of see where things are, using a formatted or F string, just so we see which station and timestamp are running. Using the Wyoming upper air object, we're going to call the request data method, which will take the timestamp and the station. That returns a pandas data frame, so I'm going to call it df. And then we're going to use the pandas data frame to unit arrays helper to make that a united array. I'm still going to call it df just so we don't have too many things floating around in our namespace here. And we're going to treat it just like that. It's a dictionary of united arrays. And then now we can actually calculate our precipitable water. So mpcalc dot precipitable water. And currently, it is in dew point pressure order. You'll get a warning that in MetPy 1.0, that is going to swap around to pressure and then dew point. Just something to be aware of, as when you watch this video, you may be on MetPy 1.0 or later, but as of the time it's published, you are not. So dew point and pressure. And if we were just doing this in a normal way, I would probably just return that from my function. So we're going to go ahead and leave that. We'll come back and modify it here after we get our multiprocessing magic done. We're going to go ahead and define a main function that multiprocessing is going to, or that's going to run when we initially call a script, rather. It'll be that protected bit that multiprocessing doesn't keep recalling and recalling and recalling. And if that is something that's unfamiliar to you, again, go back and watch some of our earlier multiprocessing videos. The first thing I'm going to do is create a manager instance. And then we're going to create a result dictionary. And this is the new part here. This is a shared or global or managed dictionary. So manager.dict. And that's instead of MetPy's dictionary, this is a special version that can be written to and read from in a multiprocessing context. And this is nice because you can even have processes go use the results of other processes that have already completed, and that's continually getting updated. We're not going to do that here, but it's certainly something that you can do very easily with this. I'm going to create my pool of workers with mp.pool, and I'm going to use 4 workers for this. It's very easy to spin up many workers. And remember, this is going out and making a web request, and we should be nice to the people who host web resources that we can go query and not open 80 simultaneous connections to them. That's just not good practice unless you have their permission and they know what's going on. I'm going to create an empty list for our jobs. I'm going to create a list of the stations that I want to go get this data for. So let's go with OUN, LZK. You notice how I'm formatting that just so it's line wrapped, so we don't have too long of a line length. Again, these are things that editors and linters that plug into them can be very good at helping you just make your code look nice and be more maintainable. I'm going to have a time of when I want to go get my data. It's going to be a datetime object. And it's going to be March 19th of 2020. I'm going to write a for loop of for station and stations. This is creating our jobs. So the job is pool.apply async. Our function calculate precipitable water. And right now it just takes a station and the time. But we're going to go ahead and also pass our results dictionary. We'll go back and modify our function here in just a moment to make it have that same signature. We'll append that job to our jobs list. I'm going to go ahead and collect the results here. We don't necessarily need to, but I like leaving that in case we do decide we want to return something. And close and join our pool. And finally, let's print the results dictionary. And down here is our protection of if dunder name equals the string dunder main. We want to run that main function. So again, that's if on my command line I've typed Python, in this case calc_pw.py is what I named my script. Then we'll be, the dunder name of this will be dunder main, and this will run. If this is multiprocessing, calling different jobs, it's just going to run that or make available that calculate precipitable water function, not keep recursively running this over and over again. All right, so we need to go up and modify our function just a little bit to take a dictionary. And in this case, instead of returning the result, I'm going to say the dictionary with the key of station. We'll set the value to be the value of the calculation there. Okay, and we have one typo down here that needs to be a double equals. Let's go to our command line and run our script. So we see that it went out and tried to get that data, but we had some future warnings about the order of those things changing in MetPy 1, but we also had an issue with no data being available, or we may have picked a station that does not have data available. So I'm going to go back up to my function here and modify it slightly again. I'm going to put a try except block in. So we're going to try to do that, except, and it's generally a good idea to not just blindly catch every exception, but I know that if data is not available, we're going to throw a value error. So we'll catch that value error and print data not available. So let's save that and try it again. So I'm going to clear my screen there, which would be clear on Mac and Linux or CLS on Windows. And now let's try running our script again. So we see we get a few data not availables printed out, but things continue to execute. And here at the end, we have our result dictionary of all the stations for which we had data and the precipitable water calculation that we got from those. So this is a great way, if you were to make a map of some calculated quantity, to go and get all of that data, do the calculation, shove it into a dictionary or some other data structure, but this shared dictionary is by far the easiest, and then do something else with it, all in the same script. No need to write out an intermediate file. I hope that you found this useful, and I'll see you on next week's MetPy Monday.